Hello everyone, this is Spy Richie, and in today's video I am going to be beating FTL Multiverse with the Limit 3. The Limit 3 is the most difficult of the unoptimized cruisers, though I did somehow manage to beat the game with the Limit 3 in less tries than the Limit 2, so I don't know what happened there. The Limit 3 is pretty difficult, as I said before. Its description says, by playing this ship, you sign away your right to have fun. Now, this is mostly true, though in the run I'll be showing you where I won, I actually did have a lot of fun with it. And on a final note, before we continue to the game, I will be giving a little more commentary in this video to help break up some of the blandness of just the plain footage. For Sector 1, my main goal was to get some scrap and upgrade my weapons and get some shields, since this ship does not start with any shields. As you could see there, I only get a total of 3 power for all my weapons. That makes things a little more difficult, so with these ships with very limited weaponry potential, you kind of have to use missile launchers, otherwise there's no way you're getting through your enemy's shields. Here I grabbed an NG crew member, just so that way I had someone who can repair things a little extra quickly. I was unable to avoid shields, so I got a Dirk pinpoint, which works fine in the first sector too, because most enemies only have 1 shield and it does 2 damage, allowing me to make it through their shields. Here I swapped out my mine launcher for the chain burst laser, which would allow me to get through shields a little easier, and it had a lower charge time, so I wouldn't have to wait forever. Taking out the guard was extremely easy with what I had at that point. Sector 2 was mainly just the same idea as Sector 1, just gathering some scrap to upgrade weapons and grab a few systems. Here I was able to grab a clone bay and shields, along with a Hades missile launcher. I immediately jumped on the missile launcher because that's the same one I used last time, and it works really well because of it only takes 2 power, it has a base damage of 3, and leaves fire too. Throughout this run, Zoltan's shields were probably my biggest enemy because missiles and Zoltan shields don't go too well together. Grabbed a teleporter because I really love boarding enemy ships. And then I grabbed an Elite Colonel Mark 1, and that completed my weapons arsenal, so the weapons and drones I have now are actually what I use for the rest of the game. it has a 65% chance not to use missiles, which is really helpful because missiles are not really the easiest resource to get if you use them all. And since my only weapons were missile launchers, I needed missiles. By the time I reached Sector 3, I had already gotten all the weapons, drones, and systems I was going to use, so Sector 3 and beyond was basically just surviving and upgrading stuff. Now here I thought this would be easy, but this ship had a better arsenal than any of the other ships I had fought up to this point, so I just had to shoot the ship and basically give up on the quest. Here I grabbed a repair arm. I should have gotten it earlier, but I kind of forgot about that until I was almost dead. Sector 4 was okay. Here I got a ghost who I used as my boarding crew from then on. I got a Zoltan. I like to put my Zoltans in the shield room because that way, if you have, since they provide power themselves, it means that if you have at least 2 Zoltans in the shield room, then it cannot be fully ioned. Here was the quest I accepted from a Zoltan a couple jumps back, but I ran out of missiles, making it impossible to complete the quest, so I just had to leave. Sector 5 was really boring, so there won't be any commentary on this one. Not much happened during Sector 6 either, though there was one or two interesting encounters. Here is where I got to the interesting part. I quickly defeated the auto ship, and then I kept telling the scientist how terrible of a person he was morally, before I guess he finally gave up, and then I was given a reward to leave. Now, Sector 7 is where things really started to get interesting. This sector had a couple different quests that I could do. Starting here, I went to Sylvian and accepted a quest to save some tree lizards from Hectar Industries. Here I quickly beat up the slug ship. The missile launchers are actually really powerful as long as you have enough missiles to keep them powered. Now here's where things started to get really interesting. There is 2 ships this shows how to unlock, so if you don't want ship spoilers, you might want to skip straight all the way to the flagship, because that's pretty much everything from here to the flagship. So I tracked the terrorist cruiser after letting it get away, and this gives me a quest marker which will then allow me to go there and unlock a new ship. And here I already have the Zoltan cruiser, so that didn't really matter. So I took a quick trip to a store to completely buy out all their missiles, just to make sure I had enough ammo for my battle against the flagship. And then I headed over to the judges, and afterward began making my way towards the quest marker from last sector. Now, here we had a bit of story added by Multiverse for the Zoltans. So I read through this a little slower than everything else because I had never seen this text before yet. And then I agreed to go do their little quest, so I made my way over there. Now these guys were not too hard actually. Once I took out their Zoltan shields, the rest was pretty easy. I did almost die though. Got my new cruiser, and then continued onward to the flagship after reading a little bit more of the story text. Even with all my detours, I still managed to reach the base before the flagship with plenty of time to spare. The first stage of the flagship was the worst of the stages for me because of how many weapons it had. Mainly because I only have one shield, the laser could reach all the way through even without me having dropped a shield layer. About halfway through this fight, I realized, oh wait, I don't need to take out their shields, I have missiles, they ignore shields. First stage down, 2 more to go. My strategy in between the fights was just to wait and use that time to repair and make some more missiles. The second stage was the easiest because it lost one of its weapons, and because I could just cloak whenever the drones were coming, I really didn't have to worry about them. So my strategy with the final boss was to teleport some guys onto the missiles to take care of those quickly because those are the most dangerous because of their ability to ignore shields. And then I would use my weapons to target the flagship's other weapons. And once that was done, then I'd start attacking the other stuff. The third stage was probably not the least difficult, but not the most difficult, so somewhere in the middle. It was easier than the other ones as far as damage taken, but it was really annoying because of its Zoltan shield and not being able to take out a lot of that. So I sent my crew over there and mainly just had them take out all of the systems until I could get through the Zoltan shield. I crew killed the ship, so I didn't have them annoying me. And since I had a ghost, I didn't have to worry about the ship running out of oxygen. Once I got its shields down, things started going much quicker, and I was able to take out most of its systems with my weapons. And there was no way I was going to try to get through that, so I just used my ghost to take out his systems, since ghosts have an immunity to suffocation and they do extra system damage. And with that, I was finally able to take out the flagship. Now that I have finished beating the game with all the limits, I have a few more ideas for FTL videos. But if you guys have anything you would like to see, please put it down in the comments below, and who knows, your suggestion might be used in one of my videos. And at this point, I think it's time to end the video. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe.